In life, we all encounter moments where we feel the need to share our deepest thoughts, our struggles, and our joys with others. But there are certain things sacred and profound that should remain guarded, not because we seek to hide them, but because they are too precious to expose to the world. It's not always about keeping secrets, but about protecting the very essence of who we are. There are aspects of our heart, our mind, and our spirit that, when shared too freely, can be misinterpreted, misused, or misunderstood. As we journey through life, we must learn to discern the wisdom in silence, the strength in restraint, and the peace in knowing that some things are meant to be kept close to us. Let us reflect on the 5 things that we should never share with anyone, not out of fear, but out of respect for our own well-being and for the well-being of those around us. In a world where social media thrives and personal lives are often shared openly, the concept of keeping our struggles to ourselves might seem foreign. Yet there is profound wisdom in protecting our personal pain and the hardships we face. Our struggles, whether they be emotional, physical, or spiritual, are deeply personal, and sharing them indiscriminately with others can diminish the value of our resilience and jeopardize the journey of healing. By safeguarding our personal struggles, we protect not only our peace of mind, but also our inner strength. In this space of quiet reflection, we discover the power of private pain and the lessons it teaches us. When we go through difficult times, there is a natural urge to seek validation, support, or sympathy from others. This is human nature. We want to be seen, heard, and understood. However, when we share our pain too openly, there is a risk that others will see us not for who we are, but for the struggles we are facing. The problem is not in seeking help. It is in the way we allow our pain to define us. Constantly talking about our problems can cause them to consume us, shaping our identity around what we are enduring instead of the person we are becoming through that experience. The healing process is a personal journey. Every struggle we face, be it the loss of a loved one, a financial setback, or a personal crisis, comes with its own healing process. Healing is a deeply personal journey that requires time, reflection, and space. When we share our pain with others, we might inadvertently create pressure to speed up this healing process. Friends and family, although well-meaning, may offer advice or express concern that, in the long run, may hinder our personal growth. There are moments in life when silence is the best companion for our pain, as it provides the solitude necessary for self-discovery and healing. Moreover, not everyone is equipped to carry the weight of our burdens. While sharing our struggles with close, trusted individuals can foster understanding, not every person is emotionally or spiritually prepared to provide the support we need. There is a great risk of misinterpretation, and some may even project their own biases or assumptions onto our struggles. This can lead to well-intentioned advice that does not align with our needs. Or worse, the feeling of being misunderstood. The role of vulnerability and strength. Vulnerability plays a key role in the healing process. It's in our most vulnerable moments that we often find our greatest strength. However, there is strength in knowing where to draw the line and when to keep things close to our heart. It takes great courage to acknowledge that some things should remain private, as it is a testament to self-awareness and self-respect. Vulnerability is not about sharing everything with everyone, but about understanding which parts of our soul need protection and nurturing. In many ways, keeping our struggles to ourselves helps to preserve our dignity. We do not need to share every hardship with others to prove that we are going through a tough time. The mere fact that we acknowledge our struggles internally and face them head-on shows strength. By protecting our pain, we honor our own capacity to endure, to learn, and to grow. It is a quiet strength that often goes unnoticed, but it is no less powerful than the loud public battles we sometimes feel pressured to engage in. The role of faith and trust. Faith plays an integral part in the process of protecting our personal struggles. When faced with adversity, we may feel alone and desperate for answers. Yet faith teaches us that some things are better left between us and the higher power we trust. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, or personal reflection, these private moments of spiritual connection provide clarity and comfort by trusting that we are not alone in our pain. we open ourselves to receiving strength that transcends the limitations of human understanding. In trusting God or a higher power with our struggles, we acknowledge that there is wisdom in silence. Some battles are meant to be fought not in public spaces, but in the quiet recesses of our hearts. It is in these spaces that we encounter profound growth and healing, as we allow ourselves the grace to process our emotions and experiences without the judgment or influence of others. Learning from our struggles, while our personal struggles may seem isolating, they often provide the greatest lessons. In solitude, we learn about our true selves, the strength we never knew we had, the resilience we thought we lacked, and the courage we are capable of summoning in moments of despair. These lessons are invaluable, and they shape our character in ways that public sharing cannot. When we keep our pain to ourselves, we have the opportunity to learn from it without external distractions. Through self-reflection, we begin to see our struggles not as burdens, but as opportunities for growth. Pain, when protected and processed in private, has the power to transform us. It is a sacred space where we can confront our fears, reevaluate our priorities, and ultimately emerge stronger and more whole. The power of silence in a noisy world, in a world that constantly demands our attention and seeks to invade our personal lives. Silence is a rare and precious commodity. The act of withholding certain aspects of our pain is a form of reclaiming our peace. Silence allows us to process our emotions without the influence of others' opinions or judgments. It is in this quiet space that we are free to truly heal, to truly grow, and to truly discover the depth of our strength. When we share too much, we often invite unwanted opinions and judgments into our lives. These external voices can cloud our judgment and divert us from the path of healing. Silence, on the other hand, provides the clarity we need to stay focused on our personal growth and the lessons that our struggles have to offer. It is a powerful tool for maintaining emotional and spiritual well-being, allowing us to face adversity without becoming consumed by it. The final word, protecting our personal struggles, is not about avoiding help or pretending that everything is fine when it is not. It is about recognizing that some aspects of our pain are sacred and require the time, space, and solitude to heal. When we keep our struggles private, we are not hiding from the world. We are allowing ourselves the freedom to heal in our own way and on our own terms. There is strength in this silence, a strength that helps us grow, learn, and eventually overcome the challenges we face. In the end, our personal struggles are a testament to our resilience and faith. By protecting our pain, we honor the process of healing, we preserve our dignity, and we allow ourselves the space to emerge from our struggles stronger than before. In a world that constantly encourages us to share everything, the wisdom of protecting our personal struggles reminds us that some things are better kept private, not out of shame, but out of respect for the transformative power they hold within us. Dreams are the lifeblood of our soul, the invisible forces that propel us forward and give us purpose in life. They are the visions of what could be, the aspirations that stir our hearts and minds, urging us to strive for something greater than ourselves. Yet, in a world that is quick to judge, critique, and offer unsolicited advice, there is immense wisdom in guarding our dreams. Not every dream should be shared openly, for some aspirations are sacred, and sharing them with the wrong people at the wrong time can unintentionally disrupt their growth and vitality. The act of protecting our dreams is not about keeping them hidden out of fear. It's about nurturing their potential and allowing them to unfold in their own time and manner. At the heart of every dream lies a deep sense of vulnerability. When we dream, we expose our innermost desires, our deepest yearnings, and the things we long for most. A dream is not merely a goal. It is a part of our identity. It reveals who we are and who we hope to become. Just as we would not expose our most cherished possessions to the elements without protection, we must also shield our dreams from the elements of doubt, negativity, and naysayers. The power of early protection in the early stages of a dream before it has taken root and begun to take shape, it is especially vulnerable. When we first conceive a vision, it is fragile, like a seed just planted in the soil. If we share it too soon, it can be trampled by the harsh words of those who may not understand or appreciate its value. Dreams are personal and intimate, and they require a period of growth and development before they are ready to face the world. During this time, it is essential to keep them close, nurturing them in the safety of our hearts and minds, away from the critical eye of others. The early stages of a dream are when doubt can creep in most easily. If we share our dream too soon with the wrong people, we open ourselves to the risk of discouragement. Not everyone will understand the vision that burns within us, and some may try to dissuade us from pursuing it. Their doubts, fears, and insecurities may unintentionally plant seeds of doubt within us, leading us to question whether our dream is worth pursuing at all. By guarding our dreams in the beginning, we protect them from these external forces, giving them the space they need to grow strong and resilient. The danger of external validation: many people have the desire to seek external validation for their dreams, hoping that others will recognize the worth of their aspirations and provide encouragement. While it is natural to want to be affirmed, there is a danger in seeking validation too early in the process. When we place our dreams in the hands of others for approval, we risk losing the sense of ownership and clarity that comes with pursuing something deeply personal. The opinions of others, even those we love and trust, can often cloud our judgment. Everyone has their own set of experiences, biases, and fears, and their perspective on our dreams may not align with our own vision. What might seem impossible or impractical to someone else may be entirely feasible and necessary for us. By guarding our dreams and keeping them close until they have matured, we avoid the risk of letting others' doubts alter our course. The reality is that not everyone will see our dreams the way we do. Some may dismiss them as unrealistic. Others may not understand the sacrifices required, and some may even discourage us outright. In order to protect the integrity of our vision, it is crucial that we remain steadfast in our belief that our dreams are valid and worth pursuing, regardless of what others may say. Once our dreams are solidified, we can share them with the world, but until then, it is best to guard them. Dreams are fuel for action, not just words. Another reason to guard our dreams is that they are meant to be more than just words. They are meant to be the fuel for our actions. A dream that remains in the realm of spoken ideas is vulnerable to being forgotten or dismissed. The act of protecting a dream involves setting it in motion, taking the steps necessary to bring it into reality. The more we share our dreams with others, the more we risk losing the drive to act on them. Sometimes speaking about our aspirations can trick us into thinking we've already taken action when, in fact, we have only voiced our desires. When we keep our dreams to ourselves, we are less likely to become distracted by the opinions of others. Instead, we can focus our energy on doing the work, making the sacrifices, and learning the lessons that are required to bring our dreams to life. The process of turning a dream into reality takes focus, determination, and a willingness to stay committed to the vision regardless of external feedback. By protecting our dreams, we ensure that they remain at the forefront of our actions, not just as something to talk about, but as something to pursue with passion and purpose. The right time to share your dream. There will come a time when your dream is ready to be shared with the world. When you have invested the necessary time, effort, and emotional energy into nurturing it, you will know when it's time to open up and share it with others. At this point, the dream is no longer fragile. It is robust and capable of standing on its own. However, even when you are ready to share, it is essential to do so with caution. Sharing your dream is not about seeking approval, but about finding those who will support, encourage, and walk alongside you in the pursuit of it. The right time to share your dream is when you're confident in your vision, prepared for the challenges ahead, and open to constructive feedback that will help you grow. The dream will no longer be dependent on the opinions of others, but will stand as a testament to your own resilience and determination. When shared in the right time and context, the dream has the power to inspire others, to build a network of support, and to create the momentum needed for success. The final word: our dreams are sacred. They are the guiding lights that illuminate the path to our purpose, and they deserve to be treated with the utmost care and respect. By guarding our dreams, we protect their potential and allow them to grow and evolve into something greater than we could ever imagine. It is through the quiet nurturing of our dreams that we build the resilience needed to face the challenges that lie ahead. In a world that is often quick to judge and critique, the act of keeping our dreams close to our hearts is a powerful declaration of our faith in ourselves and the vision that we carry within. Guarding our dreams is not an act of secrecy, but an act of respect for the journey that lies ahead and the incredible transformation that can come from believing in the impossible. In every aspect of life, there are moments when we find ourselves vulnerable, exposed, and susceptible to the actions or words of others. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest strengths we can possess. It's through vulnerability that we allow ourselves to grow, to learn, and to connect deeply with others. However, vulnerability does not mean we must share every intimate detail of our lives or expose our inner selves to just anyone. In fact, there is great wisdom in setting boundaries, especially when it comes to keeping our vulnerability safe. Our emotions, our pain, and our deepest fears deserve protection. Our mental health is closely tied to our emotional well-being, and both require protection. Vulnerabilities, if not carefully guarded, can leave us open to emotional burnout, anxiety, and stress. By establishing boundaries, we give ourselves the space to recover, recharge, and maintain a sense of balance in our lives. Boundaries act as a buffer between us and the external pressures that can wear us down. They allow us to say no when we need to step back when we are overwhelmed, and to protect our mental health from the constant demands of others. Mental health is not just about avoiding negative people or situations. It is also about maintaining a healthy relationship with ourselves. Setting boundaries helps us create the space needed to nurture our inner peace, to reflect, and to process our emotions in a way that is conducive to healing and growth. Without boundaries, we risk losing touch with our own needs, desires, and limitations, which can lead to burnout and emotional distress. Setting boundaries with compassion, setting boundaries is not about being rigid or cold. It is about protecting ourselves with compassion. We can set boundaries with love and respect for both ourselves and others. Boundaries are not meant to isolate us from the world, but to protect us from harm. By setting clear boundaries, we communicate our needs and desires in a way that fosters understanding and mutual respect. We also show others how they should treat us and what they can expect from us. Compassionate boundaries allow us to maintain healthy relationships while safeguarding our emotional well-being. We can still be kind, loving, and open with others, but we must also recognize when it is time to draw the line in order to preserve our sense of self and protect our vulnerabilities. Setting boundaries with compassion is an act of self-love that empowers us to engage with others in a way that is both authentic and respectful. Vulnerabilities are not weaknesses. They are the places where we have the potential to grow, to heal, and to connect with others. But in order to nurture our vulnerabilities, we must protect them. Boundaries are the safeguard that allows us to maintain our emotional and mental well-being while engaging with the world. By establishing healthy boundaries, we ensure that our vulnerabilities are respected and cared for, not exploited or dismissed. Boundaries allow us to protect our sense of self, to trust others, and to navigate the complexities of life with strength and resilience. They are not walls that separate us from others, but shields that empower us to protect our most sacred and vulnerable parts of ourselves. Through the strength of boundaries, we can protect our vulnerabilities, honor our emotions, and cultivate relationships that are built on mutual trust and respect. Integrity is one of the most profound virtues a person can possess. It is the quality that governs not only our actions, but also our thoughts, intentions, and how we relate to the world around us. Integrity is often tested in moments of vulnerability when we are faced with the choice of whether to share parts of ourselves or keep them private. But integrity is not just about doing the right thing when others are watching. It is also about remaining true to ourselves and our values, especially when no one else is around. There are aspects of our lives, our secrets, our deep thoughts, and our hidden emotions that require the utmost respect. Sharing them carelessly or with the wrong people can not only compromise our integrity, but also expose us to harm. In a world that often values openness and transparency, it's important to remember that some things should be kept sacred and protected. Our integrity is shaped not only by our actions, but also by the things we choose to keep private. When we talk about secrets, we are not necessarily referring to anything dishonest or deceptive. Instead, we are talking about the personal and intimate parts of our lives that are not meant to be shared with others unless it is truly necessary. These might be past experiences, inner struggles, or dreams that are still in their infancy. Keeping such things to ourselves is not a form of dishonesty. It is an act of self-respect and wisdom. It is about recognizing the value of our inner world and protecting it from those who may not fully understand or appreciate it. Integrity in the face of vulnerability. We all have aspects of our lives that we keep hidden, often because we fear judgment, misunderstanding, or rejection. These are the parts of us that make us vulnerable. Our fears, our mistakes, our insecurities. But it is in our vulnerability that we often find our greatest strength. The decision to protect these aspects of ourselves is not about hiding. It is about preserving our integrity. When we share too much of our inner world without consideration, we risk allowing others to define us based on our weaknesses or mistakes, instead of the full picture of who we are and the lessons we have learned from those experiences. Integrity is not about hiding the truth. It is about safeguarding the parts of ourselves that are sacred. It's about understanding that our vulnerabilities are not to be exploited, and that our secrets deserve to be treated with care and respect. Sharing these intimate details prematurely or with the wrong people can lead to misinterpretation and harm. It is an act of integrity to choose when and how to reveal these parts of ourselves, ensuring that we are doing so with those who will honor and respect them. The right to privacy. There is a fundamental human right to privacy which extends beyond legal protection and into the realm of personal dignity. We each have the right to decide what aspects of our lives we wish to share and what we prefer to keep private. Our secrets, our vulnerabilities, and our innermost thoughts are part of our identity, and they deserve the same respect as our physical boundaries. Just as we would not allow others to invade our personal space without consent, we should not feel obligated to share parts of our lives that we are not ready to disclose. Having integrity means respecting our own right to privacy. It is an act of self-care to preserve the sanctity of our personal experiences and to recognize that not everyone is entitled to access our most sacred thoughts and emotions. By honoring our privacy, we send a message to ourselves and others that we are worthy of respect and that the parts of ourselves we choose to keep private are not to be violated. The role of trust and sharing secrets. When we do choose to share our inner world with others, trust plays a critical role. Trust is the foundation upon which all meaningful relationships are built, and it allows us to share our secrets safely. Trust is a fragile thing. It must be earned and respected. Just because someone is close to us does not mean they are entitled to access our deepest thoughts and vulnerabilities. Trusting someone with our secrets is a sacred act, and it requires careful consideration. Not everyone in our lives is equipped to handle our vulnerabilities. Some people may have good intentions, but lack the emotional maturity or discretion needed to keep our secrets safe. Others may simply not understand the significance of what we are sharing, potentially misjudging or misinterpreting our words. This is why integrity demands that we be selective about whom we trust with our secrets. We must safeguard our vulnerabilities by sharing them only with those who have proven their respect, loyalty, and understanding. Integrity requires that we be discerning, keeping our secrets only in the hands of those who will value them and protect them as we would. The danger of sharing too much too soon in a world where sharing personal details has become increasingly normalized. It can be tempting to overshare in an effort to feel understood or validated. But there is a danger in this approach. Not every thought, emotion, or experience needs to be shared with others. When we overshare, we risk opening ourselves up to judgment, criticism, or manipulation. We also risk losing control over our own narrative. Once we reveal too much to others, we give them power over how they perceive us, which can lead to feelings of vulnerability or even betrayal if that trust is violated. Moreover, sharing too much too soon can erode the value of our secrets. There is something sacred about holding certain things close to our hearts. Some experiences, dreams, or struggles are meant to be kept private until they have fully developed and we are ready to share them on our terms. There is beauty in the quiet nurturing of our inner world and in learning to keep certain aspects of ourselves safe until we are ready to reveal them in a way that honors our integrity. The long-term value of protecting your secrets when we maintain our integrity by keeping certain aspects of our lives private, we are not only protecting ourselves in the present, but also setting ourselves up for long-term emotional health and well-being. The act of preserving our secrets requires a deep understanding of our own value and the worth of the experiences we carry with us. By choosing not to share everything, we give ourselves the space to reflect, process, and grow at our own pace. We also create a sense of security and self-respect that will sustain us in the future. The long-term value of protecting our secrets lies in the strength it gives us to face life's challenges with confidence and resilience. When we know that there are parts of ourselves that are safe, untouchable, and sacred, we can navigate the world with a sense of inner peace. We are not defined by what others know about us, but by what we choose to reveal when we are ready. Integrity is about honoring ourselves enough to know that some things, some parts of us, are not meant to be shared until the time is right. The final word, integrity, is a precious and valuable quality that governs every aspect of our lives. When we guard our secrets, we protect our integrity. We preserve the sanctity of our emotional experiences, and we maintain control over our own narrative. Sharing our vulnerabilities is a powerful act, but it must be done with discernment and respect for ourselves and others. The value of our integrity lies in our ability to know when to keep certain things private and when to trust others with our deepest secrets. In doing so, we honor our personal journey, preserve our dignity, and allow ourselves to grow without the burden of unnecessary exposure. Your secrets deserve respect not because they are shameful, but because they are part of who you are, and they are worthy of being kept sacred. There are moments in life when we face struggles that seem insurmountable, when the weight of our challenges feels too heavy to bear alone. In these times, it's natural to feel the urge to share our burdens with others, to seek comfort, or to find validation for our pain. However, there is a profound power in patience, especially when it comes to sharing our struggles. Timing plays a critical role in how we process and deal with the difficulties we face. When we share our struggles prematurely or without careful consideration, we risk losing the opportunity to learn from them, grow stronger, and emerge wiser. Patience is not about avoiding the expression of our emotions, but rather about choosing the right time and the right people to share them with. The decision of when and with whom to share our struggles is an important one. Too often, in our haste to gain empathy or to ease our discomfort, we open up too soon before we've had the time to fully process what we're going through. There is a great deal of wisdom in waiting until we have clarity on our own feelings, emotions, and what we need from others. This patience gives us the space to reflect, to grow, and to ensure that we are sharing our struggles with those who will offer the support and understanding we truly need. The importance of personal reflection when we are going through a difficult time. It's easy to want to talk about our experiences right away, to seek an outlet for our pain. However, the first step in dealing with a struggle is often taking the time to reflect and process it internally. Reflection allows us to gain clarity about what we're feeling, what the root of our struggle is, and how we might approach it. Sometimes in the midst of our pain, we may not fully understand the extent of the situation or how best to navigate it. Taking the time for personal reflection allows us to separate our emotions from the situation itself. It helps us move from a place of emotional reaction to a place of rational understanding. Through this reflection, we can find lessons in our struggles and identify the steps we need to take to move forward. Without this clarity, sharing our struggles prematurely can lead to confusion, misunderstanding, or advice that may not be helpful. When we take the time to reflect on our challenges, we are better prepared to share them meaningfully with others, and we can approach the situation from a place of strength rather than frustration. The risk of sharing too soon, while it's important to express our emotions and share our struggles with trusted individuals, there is a risk in doing so too soon. When we are overwhelmed by our challenges, it can be tempting to vent to anyone who will listen. However, this often results in unproductive or even harmful outcomes. When we share too quickly, we may say things in the heat of the moment that we regret later. Additionally, if we share our struggles with someone who is not emotionally equipped to offer support or who doesn't understand the full context of our pain, we may not receive the understanding or help that we need. Furthermore, sharing before we have processed our struggles may lead to a constant cycle of seeking reassurance from others without ever coming to terms with the issue ourselves. In many cases, sharing too early can prevent us from gaining the strength and resilience that come from working through our challenges independently. We may also inadvertently create dependency on others for our emotional well-being instead of developing our own coping mechanisms. Knowing the right time and place patience is about more than just waiting for the right moment. It's about discerning the right time and place to share our struggles. Not every situation requires us to open up, and not every person is in a position to support us in the way we need. When we take the time to evaluate the timing of our disclosure, we are not only protecting our emotional well-being, but also ensuring that our struggles are heard in the most constructive way. It's important to be mindful of the people we choose to confide in. The right person to share our struggles with is someone who listens with empathy, respects our privacy, and offers advice or support that aligns with our values. This person should also be someone who can hold space for our emotions without rushing to solve the problem, someone who understands that the journey of healing may take time. Timing matters because when shared with the right person at the right time, our struggles can become stepping stones to personal growth rather than burdens that weigh us down. Building emotional resilience, one of the most powerful reasons to practice patience in sharing our struggles is that it allows us to build emotional resilience. Life will inevitably present us with challenges, but how we respond to these challenges determines our growth. Patience teaches us that not every struggle needs to be aired immediately. By learning to sit with discomfort, to face our pain head-on without seeking instant relief, we develop the strength to overcome adversity independently. This resilience is what will ultimately carry us through future struggles, making us stronger and more capable of handling whatever comes our way. Resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about embracing it, learning from it, and coming out on the other side wiser and more prepared. When we practice patience in the face of difficulty, we allow ourselves the time to develop the emotional strength necessary to handle life's ups and downs with grace and fortitude. In time, we become less reliant on others for emotional support, trusting in our own ability to navigate challenges and come to terms with our struggles on our own terms. The healing power of silence. Sometimes the most healing thing we can do in the midst of a struggle is to remain silent, allowing ourselves the time to process without external influence. Silence allows us to connect with ourselves, to listen to our inner voice, and to gain a deeper understanding of our emotions. When we choose silence, we are not avoiding our struggles. We are giving ourselves the time and space to heal before sharing our pain with others. This silence is not a form of repression, but rather an intentional pause that fosters clarity and emotional strength. In silence, we have the opportunity to reflect on the lessons that our struggles offer. We gain insight into who we are and what we value, and we can make decisions based on wisdom rather than impulsive reactions. The power of silence allows us to approach the process of healing with intention, ensuring that when we do share our struggles, we are doing so in a way that serves our growth and respects our emotional journey. The power of patience in sharing our struggles lies in our ability to recognize the value of timing. Not every pain needs to be shared immediately, and not every struggle requires the opinions or advice of others. By practicing patience, we give ourselves the space to reflect, to process, and to understand our challenges on a deeper level. In doing so, we build emotional resilience, develop greater self-awareness, and empower ourselves to handle adversity with strength and grace. The right time and place to share our struggles will come when we are ready, when we have the clarity to communicate our needs, and when we know that we are sharing with those who will listen with empathy and support. Until then, patience allows us to heal, to grow, and to come to terms with our pain in a way that is both meaningful and transformative. As we close today, let us remember that life is not about perfection or constant revelation. It's about growth, understanding, and wisdom that comes from knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. There are parts of us, experiences we've had, and struggles we've faced that are sacred. They are not meant to be shared with everyone or at every moment, but to be respected and protected until the time is right. In a world where oversharing is common, it's important to remember that true strength often comes from knowing our boundaries. We don't need to expose every struggle, every fear, or every weakness to others in order to be understood or loved. We must trust ourselves to navigate our inner world with patience, clarity, and integrity. The power of guarding what's sacred within us allows us to heal, grow, and emerge stronger from the experiences life throws our way. At times, patience will be your greatest ally. Giving yourself space to reflect and process before speaking ensures that when you do share, it's done with clarity and purpose. And when you do decide to open up, let it be with those who have earned your trust and who will honor your vulnerabilities with the respect they deserve. Remember, your story is your own, and how you choose to share it is an act of both wisdom and strength. Trust yourself. Protect your vulnerabilities, speak when the time is right, and always do so with integrity. May you walk forward with confidence, knowing that what you keep sacred is valuable, and in the right time, you will share it with the world in a way that honors both you and those who truly listen.